Hi, we're talking about empathy, not sympathy, solidarity, not saviorism, justice, not charity. Our team is conformed by me, Fernanda Bárcenas, Jorge Pasondo, and Gabriel Pérez.
Well, to begin in this conversation, recently I have been thinking about a subject that quite me frustrated because one of the most important skills that people should have in mind in their professional developments uh, is empathy, and this value has been lost over the years.
I agree with you. Sympathy and empathy are very different, but both are really important. But I believe that sympathy makes us feel as if we're alone on one island, while empathy creates a bond and trust with another person.
Well, perhaps using empathy and sympathy in mixed and simultaneous way could lead a better understanding between people. I mean that still is highly important to have clear knowledge and know how to use the difference of each one of the concept.
Eh, yes, but these actions not only have to be done when everything goes wrong, these actions have to be done always. If things go well or things go badly, you should practice them. I even recently saw a TED talk where a psychologist created an acronym to make it easier for general population to be able to practice empathy constantly. Since, as I said, it is something that has to be practiced every day, and it seems very interesting for me.
Well, regarding what I was mentioning earlier, I will say the difference between those two concepts is that former means the experiencing someone else's feelings, whereas the latter means that understanding someone else suffering. Depending on the situation, we will uh, we react depending on the qualities and characteristics of each one. Um, when we talking to someone, it is vital not to turn these skills to put it towards to the other and become the victim. Instead, we should offer our help to solve more faster the problem and as soon as possible.
Yeah, but another issue is that must also be taken into account is justice. Because if you think about it, justice make us wonder why we can have friends who generally believe in the need of charity and justice. And it even make us wonder about how we are our way of life.
Yes, George, you're right. Usually, people don't care about it, but since you think about it, charity does not require that we change anything about ourselves or our way of life, but justice requires that we think more about what is the meaning of choices we make. But the real problem is that not everyone believes or recognizes that their actions affect to other people's life.
Well, at least, but not at least, another essential principle value is solidarity. This one characterized by the mutual collaboration that exists between two persons, which allows us to overcome the most terrible disasters. We should put into practice this value with our friends, family, even people we don't know quite well, but are definitely in difficult situations because with our support, they will be able to come forward and improve their situation to someone. extent.
Yes, and it is important to promote solidarity from childhood since it can be seen as the basis for other human values that manage to develop valuable friendships, family, or social relationships based on help, support, respect, and also tolerance.
Yeah, I believe that today the most important values have been lost to the different talks that had created the style of life. And that is what has made the society lost the tranquility and peace between people. No?
Well, I agree with you, and I think that we should change people's mindsets so that they can act in the better way.
Yes, I firmly believe that we must open our minds and change our culture to be able to help people more and avoid doing it to attract the attention and seek people approval, but rather carry it out for the reason of really wanting to help and that it works out for us the the heart.
Exactly. I share your point of view, in which most act in more altruistic way and help without expecting anything in return. More currently in this time of COVID, since we have to put ourselves in the shoes of others, and it feel us the power to support people to have negatively affected by the COVID and having to change your lifestyle due to the pandemic.
Yes, you are definitely right. Now, with the pandemic, we have learned to the value of the things and be able to apply the values mentioned before, such as justice, empathy, charity, and solidarity. But I also believe, George, that the importance lies that day to day we continue practicing and also applying these values. The pandemic arrived and taught us what really matters. And we, as young people, are the future of Mexico. And I firmly believe that we must still preserve these values so we can grow as individuals.
Yes, you're right. Precisely now that you mentioned Mexico, it is important to see our social context, despite the fact that for this work we focus more on news from United States, and I think that it may will be applied to what is lived here. Also, with the great difference of management in the crisis of the United States government compared to that of Mexico.
Yeah, I hear that in the United States, millions of dollars were invested in social ID programs by Mutual ID, such as community breakfast and meals, social health programs. Also carried a lot about homeless people and children that are with fewer resources, and they are the most vulnerable group.
Uh, that is the great example as the power of the old unit. If it can move mountains, we just have to make an extra effort. I believe that all the good actions that we do will lead to future positive consequences. I mean that when we need someone, they will be there for us and return the favor.
Well, but from everything we have talked about it, I think that the important thing is that we continue to practice these values day by day and share them with more people.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, that's it.
Thank you.